Hey guys, Kane here. I'm going to try something a little bit different today. I'm actually going to be casting a 2v2, and, man, I forgot to check the name of the map. Let's see here. Barren is the name of the map. It's going to be between Yurga and Lynx, and G0G0Dancer and DeeDiebs. As far as the balance goes, I mean, it's really hard for me to make a call. Yurga's like 2100, and he has 1230 player in Lynx at his side, and G0G0Dancer, a less intimidating 1860, but has a stronger sidekick in DeeDiebs at 1440. So sort of an interesting game. I guess the general prediction is that the team with the closer elos has the advantage, so it should be G0G0Dancer and DeeDiebs, at least by that logic. But as always, I have no idea how this is going to play out, so it should be pretty interesting at the very least. We'll go ahead and just jump in here. So we're going to see G0G0Dancer and DeeDiebs spawning off, both of them in Siege Commanders in the southeast here. Looks like a green cloaky bot or shield bot factory for G0G0Dancer, which is pretty predictable. Lynx is actually delaying his bot or his factory pretty significantly, planting down a tank factory here. In the northwest, we're going to see Cloaky and Shieldbot. Looks like Cloaky's going to be Lynx, and then Shieldbot will be played by Yurga. So a bit of a shield mirror with some Cloaky support versus tank support. Very interesting indeed. A lot of labels going to be coming down here. I actually don't have that turned off, so she might be a little bit annoying, but we'll just have to see how it plays out. G0G0Dancer is opening with 2 constructors in addition to his commander. It must be going very economically heavy. Looks like he's going to be relying on stack defenses to hold off any early raids that might come in, and they're almost certain to come in here very quickly. But looks like a couple of dirtbags heading in. First of all, small group of glaives building up here right around the halfway point. Looks like 2, 3, 4, 5, in fact just a stream of glaives coming in. Early constructor from Yurga as well, actually, and then he's morphing his commander and then moving out east, which is interesting to see. Early radar going up because, well, of course you want good visibility in case there's any, early aggression or all-ins or that sort of thing coming in. Looks like we're going to see a Panther to open from the tank factory rather than the standard Kadachi. That Panther, I guess, is going to have a little bit of an easier time raiding, just given that there's 2 players building defenses at the enemy base. So, oh boy, and this is pretty classic. You see Yurga's moved his dirtbags directly in front of the tank lab factory. If these dirtbags die in this position, they're going to create a couple of mounds, which the commander will then have to terraform away. Otherwise, his tanks won't be able to get out of the factory. We should see this pretty quickly here. This Panther's going to take out this other dirtbag, and you can see, besides this dirtbag spazzing out a little bit, creates a very large mound. There's a small engagement out here. Oh no, this commander's caught out of position. G0G0Dancer in a pretty hairy spot right now. 5 glaives bearing down on his commander, but thankfully not all of them are focusing fire on him. So it looks like he might actually get away. He's going to be very close. No, I think he's going to go down in the end. All of these glaives go down as well. Ouch. That is painful. Lynx, that was exceptional work. That was exceptional work. You usually don't see it that early. G0G0Dancer is not too pleased with the way that went down. Lynx got a very good early aggression in there, was able to stay away from the base defenses, able to punish G0G0Dancer for overextending a siege commander. I mean, of all commanders to overextend, it's pretty squishy and vulnerable, and even though Lynx didn't micro all of his glaives exactly perfectly, he still managed to get the commander kill, which is going to be a huge pain. G0G0Dancer heading out with the constructor, trying to reclaim this and salvage the situation a little bit. And looks like there's a Banisher actually out on the field already. Yurga pointing that out to his ally Lynx, which is going to be a bit of trouble for the Cloakybot factory, given that it is a riot unit. And if he groups up his glaives like he did just a moment ago, then this Banisher is going to be very effective indeed. Looks like a Banisher or Panther duo coming out here, going to head out into the central area, going to head up this central ramp, pretty quickly encountering some stack defenses. And we see a Racketeer out to handle these tanks, which very useful. In fact, going to be able to disable the larger ones. Might be able to effectively turn off this Banisher anytime it tries to engage here. And it looks like this Racketeer costs 350 metal compared to the Banisher's 520, so it's actually cost effective to build 1 Racketeer per tank. If you can keep those Racketeers alive, you can effectively disable tanks. In fact, even these Panthers are fairly expensive. 300 metal each is almost cost effective to build Racketeers for those as well. Certainly wants to be stunning out this tank, or the Banisher. It does go down first, and then these Panthers are probably going to clean up the glaives if they continue the engagement. Should probably be trying to get away, head back into stack defenses. What is this? An Athena. Looks like he might be trying to resurrect his siege commander. That seems a little bit worthless to me, honestly. On such a small map, you're going to pay 500 metal just for the Athena itself. It looks like it's in danger right now of getting taken out anyway. And then you're going to spend, what, 2-3 minutes reviving your commander just to have a commander again, you might as well just build some units, in my opinion, and reclaim the commander to pretty quickly turn that into a military advantage. Impressed with that. Right now, the Southeastern team is very much on the defensive. I mean, economically, they're not even approaching the Northwestern team here, especially with that commander being down. This second one is not in a very good position either. It's actually being morphed even more. I believe it's already level 1. No, actually just being morphed to level 1 right now. It looks to be a pretty heavy morph, though, since it is taking quite a while. Oh, no, it's just on low priority. Okay, that's interesting to see. And this Racketeer doing a good job to scare him away, keep him from doing any of the stuff that siege commanders like to do. This Athena is actually not resurrecting the commander quite yet. It's interesting to see. I'm not sure why he even built this Athena at all. Really, it's remaining uncloaked. Here we go. Now it's beginning to revive one of these constructors, actually. And this Banisher trying to do some work, but ultimately getting denied by this Racketeer, which is going to shut it down pretty handily, perhaps for the entirety of the game. So, yeah, I mean, it looks like the Northwestern team is in a great position. Lynx certainly showed his worth. Yurga, of course, being such a strong player, able to beat Google Frog and that sort of thing on a consistent basis. Always placing very excellently in the 1v1 tournaments. I mean, it's just an exceptional player. Even with a sort of a rookie player in Lynx, just getting that commander kill off from Lynx was really all the weight that he had to pull for the match. Yurga can essentially do the rest, and at this point, the Northwestern team has boxed G0G0Dancer and DeeDiebs into the southeastern corner. They've not even expanded out to this plateau. In fact, Yurga's heading over here to claim these metal extractors, which typically go to the southeastern team. So, not looking very good for these guys at all. It could be a little bit before they manage to break down the defensive here, but the defenses here, I should say. But, I mean, in my opinion, the Northwestern team has actually won this, which, like I mentioned, is counterfactual. Well, not counterfactual, which is contrary to the common wisdom that the team with the closest elo values has a better chance of winning because they have a stronger weak link, if you can understand what I'm saying there, in that their weakest player is 1440 here compared to 1230 in Lynx. But like I mentioned, Lynx actually very much pulled his own weight, did a lot more than you would expect the novice player to do on a team with Yurga. So given that and the fact that Yurga is just such a strong player overall, I really don't think that the Southeastern team had much of a hope after about the 2 or 3 minute mark. Especially once G0G0Dancer began building this Athena, it just really doesn't make any sense to me at all. It's certainly a larger team strategy, and we are seeing G0G0Dancer, I should mention, is very much a large teams player, more so than 1v1 or even small teams. And so building an Athena makes a lot more sense when there's 9 other people on your team to cover you while you do it. And looks like these Rockers are going to be taking out this Banisher pretty well. So Lynx once again pulling his weight, keeping this Banisher at bay with his Rockos. This is, I mean, pretty handily good game. 7-minute mark here, and this team was pretty easily crushed. I mean, excellent job by the Northwestern players. Good job on Lynx. He's actually continued expanding and helping out, building a nice fortified perimeter here on the plateau to prevent any counterattacks. And I mean, the teamwork between the two was pretty good. They were able to communicate well, and ultimately, I believe that combined with the early comm snipe and the poor reaction by G0G0Dancer definitely won them the game. You can see here that G0G0Dancer was very much trying to play a longer sort of game, but it just doesn't work that way. In 2v2, I mean, it's essentially 1v1, or like maybe a pair of 1v1s being played at the same time. You just can't play it the same way that you play a large team game, where, you would head to the front, pork, and then try to build some, whatever, super weapons, or try to get a DDM out on the front, or something like that. It's a totally different game. Much more raider and light military focused. And you definitely need to be more on watch for incoming raids like G0G0Dancer painfully learned at the beginning. I mean, getting your commander sniped by a handful of glaives and a 1230 player is definitely a bit demoralizing, but I can't slight G0G0Dancer. I mean, he didn't do anything necessarily wrong in the early game. His reactions could have been a lot better. I mean, I'm not going to walk that back at all. I'm going to stand by that assertion, but at the same time, and yeah, just to finish things off, a little Stardust on the hill here, which is going to take out pretty much anything in range here. Yeah, definitely that factory at the very least. I'm not sure why they haven't resigned quite yet. Really just bad sportsmanship in my opinion. You really should resign once you've been crushed, especially in an exhibition game. There's no reason to, waste everybody's time. And I'm just going to 10 speed through this, and I mean, obviously it's a good game. Look at that, wow. Waiting until there's just 2 solar collectors left to resign. I feel like that was a little unsportsmanlike, but I'll leave the editorial aside. Yeah, so anyway, how did that win come so easily? Well, the early commander snipe was certainly a big part in that, and then after the commander snipe, the battery action by G0G0Dancer to try and resurrect the thing, which is, I mean, just useless. Just reclaim it and build some military and push back, because that's really your only hope, especially after those 5 glazes went down. That's a pretty big dent in the early military, so if you can begin reclaiming your commander pretty quickly, if you already have the energy to keep up with the reclaim, I should say, then you can produce a counter military and actually have a little bit of superiority even after your commander dies. And you need to counterattack right then, strike when the iron's hot, try and get a small advantage, and then try and work your way back up to economic parity by raiding out your opponent, expanding more with your constructors, and reclaiming your commander for that little bit of a short boost to help you get back into the game. Obviously, I mean, that was probably the biggest factor. I think that had G0G0Dancer handled that calm snipe a little bit better, there would have been at least more play here. Sorry to show you guys such a one-sided game. As always, I have no idea what's going to happen, but anyway, if I missed anything or you saw anything the players could do better, let me know in the comments. Other than that, I'll catch you guys next time.